Hi Aquarius, happy half birthday. I am recording this in Leo season. This could find you at any point in time and be relevant to you. But I am recording it in Leo season and actually on the full moon in Aquarius, the Sturgeon moon. So extra Aquarian energy today, which I always love. Thank you for being here. This could be interesting for Aquarius suns, moons, risings, any particular placement you're exploring when it comes to Aquarius, transit, aspect, air energy. Yeah, honestly, it could just have come across your page somehow too. And please feel welcome to stay if you would like to. I'm your cosmic auntie, the interstellar storyteller, and this is going to be your August reading. Okay, so Aquarius, let's start with the visual I received for you. And it was a balloon full of air being popped by a pin. And I've meditated on this image, and each time the balloon changes color from a soft blue to a soft yellow. And the energy kind of led me to thinking of the chakras, the throat chakra, the solar plexus chakra. And it just felt like this nature of the bubble being popped, like someone popped the bubble, popped your bubble, you popped your, there's a bubble that's been popped in some way here. And it could be you internally coming to an expansion and like popping your own bubble in regards to, I don't know, I'm sure this will unfold as this goes on. This could also be popping someone else's bubble in regards to your truth, and your intuition, your sense of knowing. This could also be someone popping your bubble, perhaps, in regards to a truth or something. Like I heard the word illusion as well. I don't know, Aquarius, but it feels powerful, expansive. It feels relieving in a way. I did, like, the first time I received this image, I like blinked, because I like actually heard the sound of the balloon popping, and that's one of my least favorite things, like, as an individual, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, I just felt like there's a nature of a bubble being popped. So, and it changed between the colors blue and the colors yellow. So that's where I'm feeling this like sense of a truth being expressed, perhaps through words. There's been something you've expressed to yourself or to another that has popped a bubble of some sort, and it's a truth. It is, and then it comes down to here in the solar plexus when it comes to your center of action, intuition, your sense of self-esteem, confidence. This also could be like an intuitive, like, I don't know, like maybe you're breaking out of something that is a bit manipulative, or maybe even like coming to a clarity with how you're manipulating yourself. Because it does, like, it always kind of brings me internally. So this could very much be internal, like breakthroughs and truths that you're coming to awareness of. Like maybe there's just a bubble being popped, and this full moon is very much a moon about breakthroughs. I think like there's a certain like finality with like Saturn, because Saturn is also in Aquarius, which is one of your this is your ancient ruling planet. So you are shared between Uranus and Saturn, and so the moon, I think, is conjunct to Saturn. So these are places where, maybe you've been coming up against limits within yourself, and you've just like kept coming, and now there's a breakthrough. These can be certain areas of discomfort or places that you've shrunken yourself, minimized yourself, and that, you know, in regards to fit someone else's narrative or something like that, and popped. It was popped with a pin too. It was like peep. Like there was like a weapon involved, and you know, and it was like so it's very much sword-like. So then that brings us up to the mind and your air energy. So there's like ideas that are either like being popped in regards to a breakthrough to expand into your potential more and more. Oh, I just lost my train of thought. Or it could be like an illusion, popping your own illusions, popping someone else's illusions, so that you can again expand and unfold and blossom. So let's jump in and see what's coming up for you, Aquarius. Aquarius, August. Okay, the 10 of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Wands. Okay. It's so interesting, Aquarius, because I kept seeing the 10 of Wands as I was tuning the cards, and I was wondering, I'm like, I bet you that I wonder if it'll come out with the Aquarius's reading, because it feels like that. There feels like there's been a fruition in some regard. And the notion and like the energy of the 10 of Wands is that, yeah, it's already been completed. So now where do your passions lie? Where are you called to, you know, pursue and to enact your sense of action towards whatever it is that you are called to do? Okay, this is so interesting, because then there's the Queen of Wands, so fiery, Aquarius. I like that. And like it feels like a certain like surge of power. And again, I just saw the balloon being popped, and it was yellow this time. So there's like this willpower I'm sensing within your energy, Aquarius. You know, you've reached a goal of some sort, and now there's this chapter opening, and the 10 comes back to the 1, right? It reduces to the 1. And that shows me, Aquarius, that there's very real things that you've been sifting through in order to feel into what emboldens you passionately, what is intriguing you to move towards, right? This is the aces always talk about the individual. So this is you, Aquarius. And then you have the Queen of Wands, this desire to really fill out yourself and feel more confident in yourself. Some of you may be experiencing like, you know, this surge of confidence, and you're feeling more confident in yourself. Wherever you fall in that, it's this desire and the sensation of willpower, your willpower, you know, guiding you, informing you. And you're out there taking very real action, Aquarius. I keep hearing some things just got to go. So what are those things? Where are you getting in your own way? Where are you holding on to something that is in the past? How are you embracing this new beginning, and what's coming with you and what's not? You know, there's such an expansion, right? Like this balloon being popped. Again, this like rupturing of I heard preconceived notions, whether it's from yourself or from others or both. You know, there can be conditioning involved with this, popping out of the conditioning that you've experienced, how you've, you know, internalized that. The Ten of Wands, again, is about reflection. It's about reflection of what has come to be and what is becoming, and realizing your power in the moment, in the now. To guide you. And the Ace is yeah, action, passion, creativity. It's your fire. It's your fire, Aquarius. I sense that some of you are, you know, standing up for yourself more. And perhaps you or even standing up to yourself within yourself. I know it sounds so, it's very Inception, but I think if you resonate, you'll understand. What's that, like, Ariana Grande, that song? It's Break Free. I think it's like featuring Zed, and it's like the lyrics go, all I can hear is break free. But I think it's this is the part where I say, I don't wanna, I'm stronger than I've been before. This is the part where I break free. Yeah, it's like, this is the part when I say I don't wanna. I'm stronger than I've been before. This is the part when I break free. I don't know. I think that's how it goes. That is really coming in, obviously, strongly right now for you, Aquarius. So there's something where, yeah, like, you just don't fit into that mold anymore. You've broken free. Then there's this expansion. There's this intuitive, like, drive, willpower, fire filling up my entire body right now, core. And again, going back to the throat chakra, which is blue, I sense that you're able to articulate yourself. Again, maybe speak a boundary, express your passion. Like, there's something where, yeah, there's a clarity, and you're able to voice the desire. Very cool. The Queen of Wands is a very sexy energy too, so I sense that there's like a returning or an unfolding of your, like, sensual energy, of romancing yourself, romancing life, feeling just more confident in your body and confident in your spirit and confident in what you are taking action towards. Something that I'm remembering from this write-up in the book, this is the Raven's Prophecy Tarot. It's talking about how, like, these lights, like these lights are heavy on the stag's head, and there's so much concentration to not drop these lights that it's weighing them down. So, like, the notion and, like, the invitation rather of the Ten of Wands is like, how and where can you release this burden, this heaviness of sorts? The Ten of Wands is like, yeah, where is it too much to carry? What is not even yours to carry? Are there things that can be delegated? Are there things to be, like, like, thanked and, like, released because they've come to pass and be? This could be also very positive accomplishments that have reached their fruition, and now there's all of this new room to create more. And so it's this tuning into yourself, your passions, your interests, your intrigues, your curiosity, your willpower, okay? As it keeps coming back to willpower. Remembering your fire, Aquarius. In regards to feeling more comfortable in life, comfortable in your body, and yeah, very cool. What else is coming up for Aquarius? Yeah. Whoa, more fire. So we've got the King of Wands now, the Three of Wands. We have the Knight of Swords and the Magician. So let's start with this one. Here's the King of Wands. So very fiery, very, very fiery. I feel like it's very necessary, Aquarius, for what the kind of energy I'm feeling. Like, I just heard push over no more. Okay, and then here's some more fire. Three of Wands. And then we have the Knight of Swords. And then we have the Magician. So here you are. This is your energy, Aquarius. Knight of Swords. Fast, pin, popping that shit. And it just feels so deep, like it feels so complex, but at the same time, it just makes so much sense to me that I'm having a hard time like articulating the energy. Some of you may be experiencing this very much like within yourself, reaching a goal in some way, and then a whole new open road ahead of you, and the freedom to, you know, define and to take action towards, and like there's freedom in that, and it's expansive, and that has been confronting, but I feel like there's been traction with this, and there's a clarity in regards to your willpower, your passions, your desire, your and others of you may be really like, honestly, like, and this may be for even just one of you, but not wanting to fit someone else's idea of you. And there could be even an overlap of both of those things, right? Popping that bubble in regards to that limited understanding of who you are, right? And there's just so, again, I keep saying it, but there's just so much like willpower, like being called, like just in, like you're calling your power back, remembering the multiple facets of you. It's exhausting trying to fit into someone else's idea of who you are. And sometimes it takes that, like, you know, they have to pop it. And it's like, you know, I mean, I guess you can watch your impact with that. But it feels very much like owning your truth, and very much like honoring your own process and wanting to define your own life yourself. Like, so yeah. And then again, it could overlap too, because when you know, like if you are finding yourself like being frustrated with fitting someone else's like understanding of you, or like their idea of you, and like really trying to like fit that, you know, like you can only fit so much. And for you, Aquarius, like being inauthentic is like literally the worst. So yeah. Like it literally is the worst. So that like tightness though has almost revealed what is so important to you, taking your own power back, taking action towards things that you really care about, trusting in your ability to create the life of your dreams that is consistently unfolding moment to moment. The queen, the king, all this fire is just like this moment by moment energy, creating in the moment, pivoting in the moment. They trust in their ability to navigate the experiences of their lives because they're just ready to engage in experiences. They're ready to interact with life. So I sense that from you, Aquarius. I really sense that there's an expansion. It's like you want to introduce yourself as you, and as well as like having the openness to defining you as life unfolds, because you're not like static, right? Like there's not just this like, okay, this is you, Aquarius, and you're never allowed to grow, and you're never allowed to do these things, and blah 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 blah. Again, that is like the worst thing for an Aquarius. So if you're finding that, like, I can understand where that frustration lies. And if you're experiencing that from your surroundings, it is very easy to internalize that inside and even control yourself from the inside. So interesting. Again, I saw the balloon pop, but again, it was blue. So maybe there's some conversations, maybe there's even like a back and forth a bit, maybe even like a little bit of conflict in regards to being like shattering this illusion, getting real with yourself, removing any of these blockages, these barriers, these preconceived ideas, these conditionings. The Knight of Swords, like these scissors are like bloody because they go in and they go in for blood. So if you are experiencing a back and forth, conflict is a very important and natural part of life. We can only manage our impact to us, but not in anyone else's responses, especially in regards to like if you are expressing your truth, especially if you're, going to someone and expressing the need for more air to breathe, more room to be yourself and discover who you are, and not be like, I just saw like a brick of ice, like blocked in, I guess. So, very interesting. There's also so much I sense from you, Aquarius, in the month of August, or again, whenever this finds you, of taking real life, real like earthly action towards like a life that intrigues you, it excites you. And when this comes around, like some of you, like it may not be like anything conflictual, right? And you might really enjoy your life and like everything's good, but there's just like this, you may have reached some goals, or you may have like, got to a point where you've been working really hard, and there's a fruition, and there's again an open road ahead of you. So maybe people have ideas of what you should do, and you're popping those ideas, or maybe you're coming up against yourself because you're interested in something that's like completely different and completely new, where you would be, really like learning and growing and expressing and all of these kind of things, and it may not be in alignment with what other people think that you should be doing, but again, popping those balloons. So I mean, it could just literally fall in any kind of way. So fill in your fine details if this energy is resonating with you. But I really sense you being called towards creating a life that just absolutely intrigues you. Like that excites you, and finding those places that aren't really fitting into that, and meeting them with a conversation, and either having, like, you know, finding ways to recalibrate or delegate or anything within these relationships, you know, because these aren't just things that you don't have to cut and run in a whole different direction. Some of you may be doing that, and that might be for your healthiest well-being at this time. Others of you may have to, like, really delegate the effort and delegate different things so that there is more room in your life to incorporate things that interest you. Because Aquarius, you're very curious. You love to learn, okay? You love to learn. And you love to try things. And there's almost like this whole, like, I just saw a toe dip into water, which always, what the energy shows me, that there's always like a certain kind of curiosity and trepidation, because again, you're ruled by Saturn, but also Uranus. So Saturn is time, karma, like, you know, there could be a rigidity to it. Saturn's rings teach us about our boundaries, our limitations, and breaking out of those preconceived limitations or those self-limiting things, and expanding into like the foreverness of space from there, right? And then Uranus is like a wrecking ball, you know, it'll come in and it'll like tear shit up, and it's the planet of innovation, rebellion, electricity. So like sometimes there's like a bit of a contradiction in the archetype of Aquarius, and that is something that is very much important for all of us to be aware of and know, right? But especially you, and I sense that you're breaking out of this, maybe even an idea that you had about yourself in some way. It doesn't mean that none of this up until this point is valid. It just means that there's things that are expanding and revealing, and there's like a lot of revelation that I'm sensing from your energy, Aquarius. And a lot of it is like really bringing you home back to your own confidence, your own sensuality, your willpower, your action, your creativity, your drive, your desire to try new things and maybe go new places. Yeah, and with the Magician and the Three of Wands, like I see your hands on. You're seeking, you're doing, you're planning, you're creating, and this is very much important to you to feel more at home in your body, to feel more at home in what you're doing. And again, building a life or incorporating things that intrigue you, to keep you excited and passionate, and all of these really cool things. So there's a lot of inventory. There's things that are, you know, being released. There's things that are being brought to light, and those things that are being brought to light are those things that really like light that fire within you. I sense you really being like, you know, following your intuition again, right? This is your solar plexus. It's like trusting your gut, right? Trusting your gut to lead you in the directions that are curious to you, and knowing full well, right? The Queen and King of Wands knows that if there is a pivot in the path or there's a barrier in the path, they're going to create innovative ways to either, you know, blow past it or find another way around. It's like trusting your gut and trusting in your capacity to like make decisions for yourself as you interface with life. Super cool. Let's do a Lightworker Oracle and see what's going on here. A lot of this, Aquarius, is like almost kind of feeling like you're remembering that you have free will and that you are allowed to make choices, in regards to your energy, your life, and yeah, trusting that these paths, these callings, this desire to incorporate things that intrigue you and excite you and fill your spirit, but it's like, it's almost, I just had a blindfold put over my eyes. So again, back to the solar plexus. The solar plexus is like that trust with you, is the trust in your gut, that trust that you will know what to do, even though you may not know exactly where this path is leading you. It's like that understanding and that inner standing in where your spirit has been restless, and popping those bubbles. So popping your own ideas about who you should be, popping other people's ideas about who you should be, and really coming into yourself and being like, who am I right now? Who do you want to be? And not in a way of defining who you are in the future. It's a sensation, Aquarius. Like, and it's beyond like what you do for a living and all these kind of things. Like what I'm talking about is like sensations about feeling, yeah, stable, feeling creative, feeling all of these kind of things. Like, what sensations are important to you? Like, what is important to you? Okay, Aquarius. Ooh, that's too many. With this Three of Wands too, like, I sense that there's, a lot that you've been thinking about, and that those thoughts have brought back insight in regards to like what you need to do in order to feel better, to feel more like yourself, to embrace this new beginning, to reveal what incites a lot of passion within you, to speak up for yourself, okay. So we've got two. We have hold your center and reassurance of the golden light. Okay. All right, so let's start with hold your center. Have you been rushing out to meet others, trying to bend or accommodate their needs at the expense of your own well-being and inner peace? I am not even joking, it says that. I feel like I almost want to show you. I don't know if you can even read it, but I feel like, Aquarius, you always want the proof, right? The resources, the facts. Okay. Now, you are to strengthen your own energy, your own boundaries, to find your ground. Firmly place your feet there and do not move. Feel your feet anchoring you like a beautiful tree. Let yourself experience quiet certainty as you hold your center with commitment, courage, and consciousness. Wow, what a beautiful way to summarize this reading and this energy. Thank you so much. Wow. And the first line, it says, because these are quite long, it's called the Lightworker Oracle by Alana Fairchild, but it says, you are learning to trust in your own instincts, all that fire, instinctual energy, to take your own journey without comparison to the life path of another. Yes, Aquarius, pop that bubble. There is no need to become disheartened or distracted by comparisons or judgments. The earth needs your light, which can only come from you. You will offer so much less if you try to make it match your beauty to what you perceive to be the beauty of another. Yes. I love it so much, and it very much is a perfect way to summarize this energy with all this fire coming into your own, trusting your instincts, taking action towards, you know, what your gut is informing you know, like what you're learning about yourself, what you're learning about your emotions, your feelings, all of these kind of things, and where you're uncomfortable and where to break free. Okay, let's do 36. Reassurance of the golden light. This golden light comes to you as a gift of grace and reassurance. It is an embrace from the universe, an expression of divine comfort and a sign of hope. When the golden light appears, it is a sign that everything in your life, even the most troubling matters, is going to work out perfectly. They are held in the graceful hand of the divine and will be resolved more swiftly and beautifully than you might expect. Yeah. Okay, perfect way to end your reading, Aquarius. Keep breaking free, trusting your gut, tuning into your passions, your curiosity, what intrigues you, calling your energy back, defining your life for yourself. Getting out of your own way, popping your own, you know, preconceived notions of who you should be, as well as putting boundaries up with anyone who is trying to define who you are for you. Okay? I love you very much. I hope that this was helpful in some way. Happy full moon in Aquarius. This is your time to shine, baby. And I love you for it. I'll see you next month.